The single most important skill any entrepreneur can learn is sales. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're a coder, you're an engineer, you're a mechanic, you're a beer brew drafts. I don't care what you do. The single most critical skill you will learn as an entrepreneur, and it is 10 times more important than every other skill that comes after it, is sales. So if there's one excuse I never accept from entrepreneurs is I can't sell. Then don't be an entrepreneur. There's many other, go be an accountant somewhere, go practice HR. You know, there are companies that have nice long meetings and people sit and they have cookies and biscuits and there's an agenda. Go there.
That's where they belong.
That's where you belong. But in our world, we sell. So
I like that.
So that's the first thing. And the second thing I want to say to your question is, I also hate entrepreneurs that have the idea that they've got to have runway before they start a business. And there's this pervasive culture now in South Africa. You know, people go and create a business plan, and the business plan, I say I need 18 months runway, and I'm going to raise capital, and there's 18 months. Who's runway? Where are you running? On whose money, right? Because somebody has to pay the piper. So you want to start this thing, and you're telling funders, we've got to part with money to fund your dreams. I got my own dreams, player. I'll fund my own dreams.
Yes.
So the single most important skill you'll learn is sales. So what did I do? I sold. I used to do this thing called burn the line. In my business today, the team will tell you, I still tell them, burn the line. You know what that means? It means you pick up the phone with the telephone directory and you do not put that thing down until you close the sale.
Hi, Sarah Reynolds, Senior Analyst Interview, 10 o'clock.
People for coffees at Melrose Arch. That won't work. Run an email shot on MailChimp. That won't work. A clever little campaign on Twitter, Facebook. That will not work. Well, the fucking number. That's it. It's not. It really that complex. Even today, people don't know, guys don't know, even today, I sell. When the team has the sale they've got to close and they need the big hitter, they pull Vusi. And I will walk in and I will close. That's what I do. Because if you can't bridge that skill as an entrepreneur, everything else you learn is immaterial. The ability to develop now. You know, now you guys, I feel like people are just distracted. Not because you're designing websites and logos. Let's on. Let's on.
Trying to look pretty online, you know?
Not doing profiles and what are you doing, guys? People are trying to short circuit. Just.
So,
if you're an entrepreneur today and you've been in business for less than 3 years, a task for you when you leave here. When you leave here, designate one day in the week, designate a morning in that day. You start at 9, you finish at 11. You come up with a cold call list of 200. You know how I know? Because in 2 hours, you'll make 200 phone calls. And here's how the rules work in sales. It's 10 for 1. You make 10 phone calls, you get 4 appointments, 1 sale. But if you don't make the 10 phone calls, the 1 sale doesn't come. When you've done that, and you've got clients and you're billing and you're doing work, then you can worry about what's my website look like, what does my brand look like, putting up an Instagram picture of you in your nice car, and then you can do that stuff. I was the very first speaker in South Africa to what we do call a sole designate, which means I went to all agencies in the country and I said to them, I don't want to work with you. South African market is fairly oligopolistic, so the access to conferencing and client events is controlled by agencies. So going to an agency and telling them you don't want to work with them is suicide. I went to all of them and I said, I don't want to work with you. I don't want you to touch my stuff. You don't represent me. Take all my stuff down on your website. The reason I did it was because I understood a very simple fundamental law of marketing, which is he who sells the product controls product placement, positioning, and sentiment. And if they were selling me, they were positioning me next to speakers they had no business positioning me next to. So I was going, guys, do you understand that I've got now 4? But at the time I was like, do you understand that I've got like 2 degrees? I'm building a business. I'm working these kind of hours. And you're comparing me with this guy? No. So take my stuff off. And when I did it, my price tripled. But
then, how were you then? No, wait. How were you then marketing
getting the sale?
yourself?
This is the point. So this is the point I'm coming to. So the first thing I did is I got rid of these sort of third-party distributors. The second thing I did is I thought, and it's a great lesson for entrepreneurs to try. Just try this for yourself. If you ever lack motivation, just imagine your worst nightmares coming true. Just imagine the worst nightmare coming true. Imagine you've got 0 money in the bank account, your biggest customer leaves you, and your biggest competitor doubles on revenue. What would you do? Okay, there's nothing like a good crisis to galvanize effort. But what I do sometimes is I force myself into the crisis. I go, things are comfortable. Excuse my language. Let's fuck shit up. So hold on. So what I did, I did that, and then what I did is I knew now that I've fired them, I now have to build my own distribution model. Right. So we're going back, guys. This is 06. I went and registered Vusi as a trademark.
Wow.
Then Vusi Tembegwaya. Then got vusi.co.za. Then vusitembegwaya.com. This is before people even knew about websites. There was no Facebook, no Twitter back then. I went and did it. Then I went and found out where were the conferencing people going to conferences. They were all going to MICE and Saki and Oldie, and that's where I was. And that's where I positioned my brand. And it's an interesting thing. If you believe in the quality of your product, you don't need nobody to sell it for you. So I knew all I needed was one engagement. One would give me 4, because in the room there were 200 people. 4 of them need somebody for their next event. Those 4 give me 16. And then it's a multiple effect. So when I looked at it, I went and thought, why would I develop one product and then just statically deliver this thing? Same joke, same pause, same content. Doesn't make sense.
No.
So what I then started doing is I'd go, every single client that was booking me, I'd go and meet with them. I didn't understand it, but in my mind, I was building the network, because the speaker would, the CEOs went, wait, he wants to meet with us. Yeah. The speaker speaking at our conference wants to meet. Why does he want to meet with us? He says he wants us to brief him. Brief him? About what? So then I go and meet. Now I meet Stephen Kosov, who runs Investec. And I say, so tell me about your business. Tell me about what's happened. Tell me about where you started from. Tell me about the challenges you're facing. Tell me about the strategy of the firm. Tell me where you see it in 5 years' time. Who else gets this kind of access? I walk out, I've got a direct relationship. And then what I did, and it's still to this day, it's my competitive edge. Every single engagement, every single client is tailored.
Wow.
But you got to remember, I trained, 4 years as a classically trained public speaker. I won the world championship twice. My skill is I can develop a presentation yesterday, deliver today like I've done it for 10 years. That's what I do. So because of it, I can develop different presentations tailored and deliver them at a 99% efficacy each time. Most people can only do one because they have to rehearse it 1,000 times. Make sense?
Yeah.
So when I built Motivate, I built it with a 0 marketing cost. 0. I had no marketing budget. For the first 6 years, we had no website.
Wow.
You didn't need a website. I traveled to Washington. I became a fellow at the Balanced Scorecard Institute. Why? Because in 2010, I was implementing Balanced Scorecard implementations long before people knew what Balanced Scorecard is. I've since forgotten.
Hello, good evening, everyone. You are welcome. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes. How are we doing today? David, Helga, Mr. Avalade Isaac.
Yeah, we're good. How are you doing?
Doing great too. Doing great. What's happening today? Where is everybody? Have they gone for? Is there a football match that I'm not aware of today?
Actually, there might be. I learned that the season just restarted. Let me check.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening. I think the match should have ended. There was a national match today. We should have ended.
Ah,
Yeah. If it's Arsenal, the Liverpool crowd.
yeah, but I guess it's friendly matches, so not yet, not yet.
Yeah.
Should not be launched yet.
Big brother.
Ah, that's true. There's Big Brother. That's true. That's true. That's true.
But Big Brother is all day now. Is it just evening?
Actually, I heard that night the sweet.
Interesting. Just on a lighter note. Okay, eviction time. Interesting. I did not know. Okay. So people are watching eviction time of Big Brother. I don't even know how that show works. Funny. I don't even know how that thing works. But anyways, we move. Okay, this is 7:14. We're gonna get into it. So let's do a quick review. Today is an open session, so we are supposed to have people from outside joining us. YouTube is also live, so it's possible some people have joined on YouTube, but we'll move on. Yeah. Okay. We joined on YouTube. All right. So let's just do a quick review. How was our week? Before we start talking about our week, I would want to just give us a quick what we are actually talking about today. So you guys know that all the while before now we've been talking about how to fine-tune our skill. Then we talked about how to know what the solution that our skill offers is. Then we now looked at what's our status. Why should people even pay us for this solution that we're offering? Because people don't buy because your product is nice. They buy you first. If they don't believe you, they will not buy from you. Now we are looking at how do we convince that? How do we get them from just prospects to actually getting to pay for it? So we are looking at the fourth step of the ladder, which is selling, and creating irresistible offers. Creating an offer for your product or your service or your solution such that once you say that statement out, once you give that offer, or once that offer is on a flyer, except that is not your target audience, they won't be able to say no. Once that offer is presented to your target audience, they will not be able to say no. And I have used this for years. I would show during the course of this session, I will show you some of the offers I created in 2020. What am I saying? Before then, offers I created, and that was the time I started employing staff. Those offers, and it's the same template I used then that I'm going to be teaching you guys today. So stick around. We will be learning some cool stuff. Trust me, that it works like magic sometimes. It works like magic, but it's a formula. And once you follow it, it works. Okay. So how has our week been? We are reading a book, The Science of Getting Rich. So I want to confirm, Falade Isaac, are you coming as from outside, or you are part of the program? Because there are some people that.
Good evening. From outside, I saw a link on Jake WhatsApp status and talking about how to sell, and that caught my attention, and I decided to join.
Cool. It's really good to have you here. It's good to have you here. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, I can see Jennifer Sonachi. That's also someone joining us today for the first time. You guys are welcome. This is the Nebula Launchpad, and just flow with us. You will not be disappointed that you spend this time here. Okay, so guys, what caught your attention from the 2 chapters we read last week? So basically, just tell me about your week. We don't have to follow this solution statement, authority statement, believability plan thing. Just tell us about your week and then what stood out for you in the book. Who would like to go first? Okay. Helga, I know you are multitasking. I know you very well. Okay, David, you want to speak? Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and good evening. My name is David. For those of us who just joined, I've not been able to do most of the Nebula tasks from last week and the week before. So stuff like the mission statement and stuff, because I've been writing exams, very wicked exams. But I'm done now. Yeah, this was the final semester for my MIT program. So I've really been preoccupied. Yesterday, I did my project defense, and that's how that has been. I've really put a lot of things on hold, except for work and the book. So I've been reading a lot of books since the start of the program. Interestingly, the day I registered for this program, I was on my way to a bookshop. Right, I had encountered one of the what will I call it? What do we call it now? Those are our steps.
Okay.
Well, basically, I was just uncomfortable.
Is it the climber code?
Yeah, the climber code. Yeah. So, I mean, I was just uncomfortable with a few things. So, I got some money that day, and I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do a few abnormal things, right, that particular day, and so I got some money and I was up to a bookshop, something I don't do, right? I order books, yes, but I have never been there myself with a specific list in my pocket. It was like going to the market for stuff, right? Like for food stuff or something like that. Interestingly, what we're talking about today, I got a few books on the subject. This Alex Hormoz's book, I haven't had the opportunity to read them yet, but you know, the offers, the leads, $100 million offers, leads and stuff. What even brought me here? Okay, yeah, my week. So I was just saying all of that to say, yeah, I've been able to turn off a few stuff except reading the book and going to work. So chapter 7 was on gratitude, basically being grateful for what you have, right? And so the idea is basically trying to live life in a certain way with respect to the science of getting rich. So chapter 7 was on gratitude, basically being grateful for what you have. So the basic idea was you cannot continue to curse everything that the formless substance is trying to use to bless you. So take Nigeria, for example. We have a bad government. You should be grateful for the bad government. It's the bad government that protects you. It's the bad government that ensures that you have a country to call your own. It's the bad government that puts food in your mouth. So you have to first be grateful for the bad government and everything, to be honest, whether it looks good or bad. It is what allows you to have what you already have, for starters. So gratitude was the first part. So gratitude for what you have and gratitude for what is coming. The next chapter, which was thinking in a certain way, was basically trying to get you to have the understanding that when you think about something, a few chapters back, it gave the idea of thought. So thinking in a certain way was basically capitalizing on the fact that when you think of something, you think of it as already coming, as opposed to wishing for it to come. So immediately you have impressed it on your mind. You get specifics. So for example, you are thinking about a kind of business. So what kind of business? A unicorn, a side gig, a sole proprietorship, I mean, you determine the scale, you determine how it is, you determine what it is going to be, right? So all those things, basically from that chapter. But tying back to gratitude was basically being grateful, right, for the fact that it is coming. And gratitude keeps you in sync with the formless substance. So it allows you to be able to still connect with the formless substance. It lets the formless substance know that you realize that it's playing to your favor.
Yeah,
it's working. Exactly. Thinking in a certain way. Basically, the book has touched on that, from inception, to be honest. Basically just letting you know that I cannot think on Victor to do something for me. It's a waste of my thinking. So when I think in terms of specifics for what I want, and knowing fully well that I can use my willpower to pull myself to do what I need to do and to think what I need to think. Removing my mind from thoughts that are counterproductive to what I'm trying to attract. So I gave the example of sickness and health, poverty and wealth, and basically explaining the fact that all of economics is a study of poverty. So you are likely to be more impoverished if you continue thinking of life from the perspective of economics. Same thing with religion. Most of religion is a study on sin and on godliness. So the longer you continue in the ideal way of the study of religion, you would most likely continue in the way of sin and ungodliness. And same thing for wealth. Most of the study of wealth is from the perspective of poverty. So if you continued to think of wealth from that perspective, you will just continue in poverty. Yes. So, but basically that was chapter 7 and 8 in a nutshell, and that was in a nutshell. Thank you.
Thank you. That was an exposition. Yeah, I think I like the fact that you actually read it to really get the juice of the thing. Because if you just read it because we are reading it, you won't be able to say these things you said the way you said them. And I'm really glad to know that that's actually what's going on. I think it was that chapter, not gratitude, the thinking in a certain way, that tells you that, in fact, for now, try not to even associate so much with anything that has to do with poverty. Don't even go and say you want to help the poor.
No, don't help the poor.
Just get out of poverty first. Yeah, because the fact that you put yourself around where poverty is because you are trying to help them still has a way of dragging you down.
Your thinking. Yes.
So he's saying the best thing you can do for the poor is to get rich. Then you can now know what to do. By that time, you are very far from where the poverty is, and it can't drag you like that. So it's really interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Who would like to share? Frank, Helga. Livingstone is here.
Okay, let me say a little thing.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So, about your thoughts, thinking, it's I used to I don't know back then, like when I don't know if it's overthinking or what may cause it, but there are some things that like nature provides, like let me say land. So then if I walk around, I'll be like, everybody's building houses. By the time I get to the point of me having my own land, maybe there won't be land again for me to buy. Everybody must have bought the land, finish. No more land for no more land for me to buy and build like these people. So I'm like, time. So when I was reading a portion of this book, I saw that place that reminded me, that took me back to that level. I was like, look at some years ago, this was what I was thinking. And the book said something that the things that God provided by nature never finished. Like it has a magical way of expanding or multiplying.
Yeah.
So you thinking that some things will finish, that it won't get to you, is a very, very wrong thought. And whatever you conceive, like whatever you become in
Mm.
years to come, is as a result of your thoughts.
Mm.
So he said something that you can't keep thinking of failure or poverty or reading stuff that had to do with failures and poverty. That won't
Mm.
get you to anywhere. Like it will just be like having it in your thoughts, be putting that thought of poverty in your mind.
Yeah.
But put your mind or your thoughts or whatever the materials that you may be consuming should be about prosperity, riches, wealth, and all that. It will change the way you think, and
Mm.
you can be able to build a very big picture, a
Mm.
positive one that you can become. And it gave me that more courage that whatever you thought in your mind, whatever you conceive, you will surely become.
Mm.
So the better you have positive thinking, the more chances of you becoming something big in the future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes some of the last classes we had talking about thinking session, I'll be like,
Mm.
I'm somebody that can think at any time. So me having a dedicated time, like waking up around 3 just to think, I'll be like, what will I even think of? Uh, Everything, like there are some things like this is what I want. Like if you want, like if you have a dream of the kind of life you want to live, you already have the picture. I don't really need like a specific time to wake up and start thinking, oh, okay, this is the
Mm.
life I want to live.
Mm.
That. But after I read that this chapter, it like gave me more reason why I should dedicate time to think, because thinking forms a very, very greater part of my future.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Helga, for sharing that. And that your analogy is really, really funny. You think all the time, so you don't need to take out time to think. Yeah. So, just to add to that, there are many things you do in your thinking session. It's not just to sit down and be thinking. Yeah, actually, one, of course, is to put flesh to the images that are in your head. This is the kind of person I want to be. This is the kind of business I want to do. This is where I want my business to be. And as you keep pondering about it, it's more like you're trying to connect to a supernatural source, and it just starts expanding things in your head. It starts expanding, and before you know, you have to start writing so that you don't forget the things coming to your head. And most times, those things you start writing down are the plans on how to get there. If you realize that those things you now start writing down are the plans, are the things you need to do, strategies, because you would certainly not just jump into that future. You will do something to get there. So that time of focus is what gives you the actions you need to take to get there. And like I used to tell you guys, for me, before the morning, or because I am a morning person, it's not that morning that I decide, that I think of what I want to do during my thinking session. The night before, I have already either lined up the podcast I want to listen to that I will start with, because usually you don't just sit down and just start thinking. There's something you listen to or something you read, then from there it now graduates. You now start applying some of the things you listen to into the things you want to do in the day, in the week, in the month, or your bigger plans. So it just cascades from listening to something or reading something into now becoming a full strategy session for you. And this morning particularly, I had my own thinking session, and I was very glad that I was able to, because for some time it's been on and off like that. And this morning I had a full business idea on paper, and it's something that would cost me, say, 200K to start. Like 200K, yes, to start. And I will literally not lift a finger if I don't want to, because I won't pay any new person salary. The same people I'm already paying salaries are the same people that will run it. I just need 200K to buy something, and the rest will be handled by the people I already pay. So if I did not have my thinking session today, it may not have occurred to me that I have some fixed cost in my business. This cost are already fixed. How do I make more money from the people I'm already paying? So those kinds of things are the things that happen during your special time of focus. For those who are just joining us today, this is the Nebula Launchpad, or the Launchpad for short. And it's a 10-week program. We are currently in week 5. This particular cohort is in week 5. And there's a book we are reading throughout the program, just one book. We read 2 chapters every week. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. That book was written in 1902 or 1906. Very old book, but it holds wisdom that you don't find on the streets. And that's what we are talking about. So in case it's sounding somehow to you, that's what we're just reviewing the 2 chapters we read last week. Okay, today, like I said, for those who joined a bit late, we're looking at how to create irresistible offers. Offers that when you say it out, if that person is your target audience, he will not be able to say no. Except that person was just passing by and he doesn't have the problem you solve. He doesn't have that problem at all. But if it's someone who has that problem, he will not be able to say no to you. Okay, one more person before we kick off today. I actually want to know how your week went. Thank you, Helga, for sharing that. How is your abnormal behavior going? Do you have something to share on that, Helga?
Not really.
But hope things are going well, business-wise.
Yes, I'm good.
Awesome. Okay. Who would like to share something, either from the book, or which of the climber codes did you engage last week that you would think you would like to share? These are the climber codes, 6 of them. Who is trying to speak? Frank.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, our facilitator. For the first week, I acted on the climber code negotiating for growth. Well, what I was doing actually was, I don't know where to start, but I said, let me just do it abnormally, because I saw a lady advertising these polo shirts from China. She has a WhatsApp. I chatted her up. I wanted to convince her that she should build those things to me. I will work on half of the money I will pay, which is based on what she says. Each polo is $0.5, less than it. So I calculate that particular part of a type of polo in here where I am is sold at minimum of 6,000 naira.
Interesting.
So I decided to how am I going to have those things here, and how can I raise some funds to pay her? So we are on that page. Then I ran out of data and I did not get it again. But I will still look for a way, even if November or so, maybe I will sell some farm produce, because a bale of that polo, based on what she said, cost only 150,000 naira. So I was thinking on how to raise money or so that at least let her not say, hey, Nigerians, you cannot trust them, I will pay and pay and take the risk and wait the bell of Dapolo to arrive. Aside that, this evening when I went to the market, do my normal selling and consulting, I was talking with my boss. He was like, how are we going to do this Christmas? How are we going to raise protein like meat? I said, I have a cage which is already 6 by 4 feet and it can carry at least 20 to 30 broilers. If you can provide the broilers and the feed, I can raise them for us. If at the end of the day, we may be doing 1:2 in the sharing formula because we are 3 in the business. So maybe you said you will take 1/3 of the finally born chickens, or you take 2/3 and give us 1/3 to share, since everything is on. So to me, I think it's a negotiation for growth because if I can have that, that means every money I will spend on meat this Christmas is reserved.
It's sort of
This is how my week went, and normally as usual, my farm, within my farm, and other things. That's all for me.
Nice. Thank you, Frank, for sharing with us, sharing this with us. It's yeah, you really negotiated for growth last week. Seeing an opportunity and deciding that you will go for it. It's pretty much something similar to what the thing I said that came to me too when I was having my thinking session this morning. It's very, very similar actually. Getting something from China that costs like $1.2. And I know somebody who's selling it for 29,000. I actually bought that thing 29,000 naira. And when I went on Alibaba, I saw it was $1.4. And I was now wondering, this is crazy, man. But you know, sometimes these things have dynamics because before you ship it, cost of customer acquisition, cost of delivery. So it's not as nice as it sounds, but the margin is obviously there. So yeah. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. So me and you need to talk on this since both of us are already looking at China to order something. I know a number of people who do that. One of my clients actually is into what do they call it now? Freight forwarding. So he helps people buy things from China because he manages cargo and all those kinds of stuff. So we can work something out if need be.
Yeah, that would be great, sir. That would be great. I really appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you. All right, I think we should jump into it. Let's jump into it. So for those who are just joining today, you probably are wondering, what is climber code? What is a ladder? What are we even saying? So I'll just give you a quick recap of why we are making some of these terminologies. So this program is built on a particular framework called the Skill to Ladder framework. Sorry, I'm not able to turn on my video because this place just suddenly became dark, but it's been worked on so that power can be restored. The name of the framework is called Skill to Ladder framework, and the Skill to Ladder framework has two parts. One is the climber code, and the second thing is the ladder itself. So now we're talking about skill to ladder, the skill to wealth ladder, meaning when you have a skill, the fact that you have a skill does not mean that you will be able to generate wealth from it. There is a series of steps you have to take that before your skill can get to the point where it generates wealth for you. This is the same reason why you see people who are very good at what they do, but what they earn from it is they are barely able to survive. And you'll be wondering, this guy is good. Why is it that up to now, this guy has not moved out of this place, or this guy is not able to afford this kind of life? His colleagues who probably even know this stuff less than him, they're doing way better. It's because skill alone does not guarantee wealth. There is a series of steps. Now, but even if you now know the steps of the ladder that takes you to wealth, you have to be the kind of person who can climb that ladder. That is why we have to address the two sides. We address the ladder and we address the climber. So the climber has to be a certain kind of person. That is where the climber code came from. First, the climber has to be someone who has anger about where he currently is right now. That's climber code 1 here. You must have built up anger. If you are comfortable where you are, you cannot get there at all. You can't take the next step on the ladder to wealth. Second, you must be somebody who chooses what you hear, see, and say. Your ears cannot be open to everything. You have to decide that I will not go to the place where certain kinds of conversations are had, because I am guarding my thoughts, I'm guarding my mind, because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And once you speak, you are beginning to create with your words. That was how the world was created, with words. So once you have filled your heart with stuff, the analogy I usually give is, you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is open Facebook or Instagram or whichever one you use, X. And then after scrolling for a few minutes, the next thing that comes out of your mind is, we are finished. This country is gone. So once you now start saying stuff like that, you know that you have consumed so much that your heart has to bring some out. And as you now start saying those things, you are creating your reality, period. So to be someone who can climb the ladder to wealth, you must decide and choose what you hear and see, because that determines what you see. Then, third one is, you have to be someone who negotiates for growth. Growth will not meet you where you are. You have to move towards it. Opportunities will come to you, but you must stretch to pick it. That is what Frank was talking about. Right now, he needs 150K to pay the Chinese lady who will send him something that costs 700, maybe 700 naira, and where he is, that same thing is sold for 6,000 naira. So imagine the margin of that. Let's even say with cost of delivery and everything, last, it gets to him at 4,000 naira. He still has 2,000 naira to make from it. All he needs is 150,000 naira. He does not have it, but he is keeping himself in the conversation until he gets to the point, even if it is, okay, can I pay half? And then when you deliver it and I start selling, I will say, he will keep poking areas until he finds a way to get the growth that this opportunity is going to bring. Because obviously, this is an opportunity for growth, but you have to negotiate toward it. Being the kind of person that never sees opportunities and say, I'm not ready yet, is the person who can climb the ladder. Next is, you must be someone who acts abnormally. Yes, this is the crazy one. You are learning a lot. You definitely are going to get to a point where you will have to do things that won't make sense to the people around you. So you will decide that even if it does not make sense to the people around me, I will still take these actions because I know what they don't know. I have seen what they have not seen. Therefore, I have to do something that they feel is not normal. You must have settled it in your mind. Those are the kinds of people who can climb the ladder to wealth. Then, host thinking sessions. This is time of focus. Every day, there has to be a time of focus in your life. Anybody who has created anything of importance in this life is a person who blocks out the world for some minutes or some hours to focus. That's what thinking session is, period. Once you don't have that, you cannot create anything useful that the world will use. Then last but not the least, you learn from the future. If somebody has suffered before, there's no point you suffering that same suffer. It's pointless. It's not economically, there's no point. There's no economic value to your suffering if someone else has suffered it before. So learn from somebody who has walked the path. It requires humility sometimes, but then That's the kind of person who can climb the ladder to wealth. So every week, we analyze our actions and inactions based on this. If you find yourself not having your thinking sessions, you know that this ladder will not go fifth climb. If you find yourself being comfortable with where you are not moved, things are not going as you wanted, but you're okay, you may not be able to climb that ladder. So we use these things as our yardstick as we take actions during the week, every day. All right, that's the climber code. Remember, that's just one side of the framework. Then the ladder is the 7 stages that every skilled person must climb before wealth becomes possible. Now, we assume that you are engaging the climber codes on a daily. Okay, now what is the next step for you in the ladder? Are you still at the skill level where you are still figuring out which skill it is that you have? Or have you sorted out skill? It is that you're trying to figure out, okay, what is the solution that my skill offers? Or are you at the point where you're trying to build a status that makes people believe that you can actually offer the solution? Because if people don't believe you, no matter the English you speak, they will go to the person that they believe. You can't tell me that you're a social media manager, and I go to your status or I go to your Facebook page and you have 3 followers, and then you tell me that you will make my own 100. It cannot make sense. I have to first believe that you can do it before I will be able to pay you for it. That is the same reason why people will tell you, do it and come. If you do it, I will pay you. It's people who have a status problem that those things happen to. Yes. So, or is it a selling problem? Now you have your skill, you know the solution you're offering, you have built enough credibility with your status. Can you convince people to pay you? Now that's where we are today. Convincing people to actually pay. That's where we are. The other parts are support, system, and stewardship. I don't want to talk on that because those are the things we'll do next week and the other week and the other week. All right. So guys, we are selling. We want to start selling. We have addressed all these other things. And for those who were not here in the previous weeks, if you want to join the Launchpad, just go to launchpad.thenebula.tech. Nankel, if you are here, please drop the link in the chat so that they can go there. We are starting the next cohort on the 29th of August. And if you think that this is something you want to be a part of, 10 weeks, every week we meet just once every week for 2 hours. And we discuss our week, find out areas where we can make adjustments. And then we discuss a new step on the ladder, just like we're discussing selling today. So if you would like to, if you have questions, Nankel, you can also drop your number so that you can answer any question. They can chat you up on WhatsApp. Nankel is my assistant. I hope she's here. Me too. It's not be that I am calling. Okay. All right, Nankel is here. Good. All right. So selling. Selling is the ability to communicate value and convert interest into customers. Being able to let them know that once you pay this money, this problem you have must get solved. Whatever words you use to articulate that is selling. You convince them that, you see this problem you have, once you agree that we should go into an arrangement, your problem is solved. That is selling. And whatever you do to arrive at that point, as far as words is concerned, is selling. However, there is a recipe for making this work. And one of the things you must know how to do to be someone who can sell is being able to create an offer. I will share offers with you, offers that I have created in the past. Nankel, that's the page to the login page. Put the link that takes them to the landing page so that they can even read more about it and see other things. Because that one now will take them to just login page. There's really no information there. So we have a platform there too that those in the Launchpad, they know that's where they do their journaling, that's where they see their missions for the week. All that process happens on the same platform, but just the link to the website is the one you should drop now. And your phone number, of course. Okay. You need to be able to create an offer. A good offer is your solution or authority statement, communicated in a way that your target audience cannot say no. If you were here last week and the week before last, you already know what a solution statement and an authority statement is. For those who were not here, let me just give you an idea of what a solution statement is. A solution statement is what you use to connect with the audience, because you know the audience, you know their problem, so you are crafting a statement that addresses that problem as a solution. Let me give you an example. My solution statement is, I help Africans to get the most financial return from what they already know how to do. That's my solution statement. In other words, that is why the Launchpad is here. You already have a skill, but you're not getting return from it. My solution is, I help you get the most financial return from it, from that skill that you have. That's my solution statement. Then, based on my solution statement, what is my authority statement? It is, if you work with me and you listen to me for 10 weeks, your income should at least multiply by 3. If you listen to what I say, do the things that I say, and you follow it, your income should at least multiply by 3. That is my authority. I say that authoritatively because I've actually seen it happen. Okay, I've actually seen it happen. Previous cohorts before this one, this particular one, I can see guys who are taking steps that I'm now wondering, guy, where were you all this while? That is now that you want to do all the things in the world, because there's something they are hearing, there's something that is doing something to them, and things that they have kept on postponing. Right now, they have one inner energy to get those things done. That's what this program does, and that's what I do for people. Now, that's the authority statement. Now, what is the offer? That is what we want to talk about today. So there are ingredients to creating an offer. Basically, there are 3 things that should be in an offer. Every other thing is just by the side. But majorly, there are 3 things. And the goal of this session today is to help you to know how to unconsciously add these ingredients whenever you're talking to a prospective client or customer. You may or may not write it down. Of course, depending on what kind of business you do. If you're a kind of business where you talk to people, you don't create flyers. I don't know what kind of business is that you don't create flyers anyways, but let's say you don't create flyers, you don't do videos, you always talk to your customers face to face. If you imbue these 3 ingredients into your conversation and you do it properly, they will always speak, except they are not your target audience. And by not being your target audience means they don't have the problem your solution is offering. If they don't, there's nothing you can do about it. They don't need you. So there's no point beating around the bush, right? Okay, so what are the ingredients for creating a good offer? And by the way, if you put these ingredients in your flyers, if your target audience sees it, if someone who is in your target audience sees it, they will buy. First, you need a giant promise. A promise you can fulfill that your target audience cannot see and pass. They must pause. More or less like something that looks too good to be true. Not necessarily that, but I will explain. Now, apart from it being a giant promise, it has to be something that addresses the real problem. It has to be something that addresses the real deep down frustration that your customer or your client or your target audience has. Let me give you an example. Read this book and you will triple your income. Now, apparently, whoever wrote this book knows that the people who want to read this book is money problems they have. It's not because they need inspiration. It's not because they need wisdom. It's money they have, even though the book is giving them wisdom to make money. But he didn't say, read this book and you will have wisdom. The book is giving you wisdom, right? But wisdom is not their problem. Money is their problem. So this person gave the right promise. You will triple your income when you read this book. Now, it may look like, oh, really? I triple my income. And sometimes we are tempted to think that these people that write these things are telling a lie. It's not so. I know because people, for instance, this sounds like something I would write anyways, join the Launchpad and triple your income, right? Because it has happened. Somebody in just the previous cohort who has never billed 500K before, for any of his services, is now billing 1.2 million. Myself, I'm shocked, like even you. He now sees himself at a place where he's able to, and people have decided to pay. So the point here is you have to be able to create a promise, truthful promise, by the way, something you know you can fulfill. Here's another one: lose weight while still eating what you love. If that is the concern of your target audience, people who they don't want to stop eating what they normally eat, but they still want to lose weight, then that is a great promise. And find that real pain. That is why you must know who you are targeting. For instance, people want to lose weight for different reasons, and they want different ways. Some people, they actually want to reduce how much food they eat. So if you now target this at them, they're not your target audience. You can't win them with this. But if your real audience, you know that you are targeting people who they don't even eat that much, but they are still fat and they want to lose weight. This is for them. Here's another one. Every furniture you buy from us lasts 100 years. It's 8 o'clock. Really, 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 really. The furniture's really spoil like that. 100 years sounds outrageous, but you get the idea. You can say something 10 years, 20 years. Furniture doesn't really spoil, really, right? So, but say it in a way that it catches the attention of the person. That's the goal of this. Catch the attention of the person. This is just the first ingredient, remember. So there are other things we are still going to add to this offer. But we need something that catches the attention of the person who is reading or listening to our offer. That's the first thing. Now, second, you need to add free items. And you're not just adding free items, use the word free. Maybe in capital letter. Say the word free when you are saying it. It is psychological, but it works. For instance, there are things you can actually add to your giant promise that will not really cost you anything more. It may cost you something, but sometimes it doesn't cost you anything more. Now, let me give you an example of why this even works. Have you ever been shopping online and you were shopping, the prices were good, you added to cart. As soon as you got to the point of checking out, by the time you saw the delivery fee, you just abandoned the app entirely. You just swiped away. Has this happened to you before? Let me see who is giving me the action. Enobong. Yes. Now that is the psychology, Frank. Yes. It happens a lot. Even to me, it happens. That is the psychology of giving free items. You can add the cost of the free item to the item, but now say that you are giving it for free. It works better than reducing the cost and now saying that, okay, you will now pay for this later. It's just psychological. People would rather pay 1,000 naira extra than to later now pay extra for something. I hope I'm making sense to you guys. Now that's just for free delivery. But if, for instance, in my business, the Nebula, what we do is we help businesses solve operational problems. You have, you're into logistics and people are stealing products or stealing money. We help you clear that. You have a shop, you are not able to manage inventory, all those kinds of things. Operational problems, really, we solve it, right? Using technology or not, we help you clean up your operations internally or externally. Now, one of the things we do is that after we have told you, oh, this is what it's going to cost, we will see now say, okay, even with this thing we are going to give you in whatever invoice or proposal document we send to you, we will now add, okay, when we are done and we have delivered this thing, we will give you free support for the next 6 months. Meaning, if anything needs adjustment for the next 6 months, don't pay anything. Free support, free maintenance, free minor updates for the next 6 months. Forget, we have actually added the cost of that into our proposal. However, to the customer or to the client, he sees it as free because we determine what the price is. Me and you did not talk on what is the cost of production before. And that is how it is for almost anything. I told you guys that I bought something for 29,000. That thing I bought for 29,000. Do you know what these guys did? I just saw the thing on Facebook. Oh, I was just scrolling. They said this thing is 29,000. They found a very nice way to appeal to fathers because it's something you buy for children. It's actually a toy. They did a nice job at giving a really giant promise. The psychological thing, what it will do to your child, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, it worked on my head. Then they now said delivery is free nationwide. Then they now said that you pay when it arrives at your door. I said, these people are really serious about this thing. It's not junior. It was just one of those ads on Facebook. So I said, okay, now let's see now. And now said, no, share if you don't bring it, I don't pay. No wahala. I submitted the form and submitted. Next thing, somebody was chatting me on WhatsApp. Say, yeah, you ordered for Kiniko. I said, yes, I did. All right. That was all. You didn't say anything, no? The next thing, your order is at Old Airport. Old Airport is the road close to my house here. It's at Old Airport. Are you available to pick it up? People will not even tell me, not even confirm. Like, the next thing, the thing was already in my house. Thank God I had money to give the guy. But my point is this. Because I had already attributed the value of that thing as 29,000 naira, it felt as if they were doing me a favor by delivering it for free. It felt that way. Because that item, I have not seen it anywhere before. I don't know how much it cost. It is later after I bought it, I've gotten value for it. I was just scrolling through Alibaba app and I saw that this thing cost $1.4. I said, Jesus Christ. So me too, I have decided I will enter the business because it really is not going to cost me so much. The barrier to entering is very, very low for me because of the systems I already have in place. So my point here is find free things you can give. And trust me, whatever business you are in, there's something you can add and say this thing is free. Let me give you examples. Free servicing, even if it's a car, or free consulting. Say, oh, we will help you, this thing, you buy this thing, but we'll still give you free consulting by the side. Or free usage for a limited period of time. If you offer a SaaS solution, you can say, pay, but we'll not start counting your money until so time. So for this, after you paid, for this period, you're actually using it for free. Just find something just to give them that impression that they are ripping you off. They like feeling that we are getting a good deal. That is the idea of adding free items. Another thing, free installation. Maybe you set up solar, that's your job, or what else? What else? You sell fridge. I don't know, anything. You set up AC. After they've bought, tell them that you install it for free. What's this thing now? Elon Musk. Starlink. You sell Starlink. And then you tell them, no. Once you buy, we'll come to your house, we'll install it for you for free. I can guarantee you that the person who lowered his cost and they will still have to pay for installation will not get as many customers as the person who says, who has increased the cost slightly and is giving free installation. It's a rule. This thing always works on human psychology. And you can have multiple free things you are giving. In fact, you can even sometimes say, if you buy this quantity, we give you a free extra 5 of the thing. You know where you will come out your money from. Sometimes it may even mean that you will not necessarily add money to it, but it will reduce your profit margin, but you will end up having more volume to sell. In the end, it still paid you more because now you are selling more because of this extra free thing that you added to it. You are now selling more quantity, more people are buying. So eventually, your entire net profit increases. So the first ingredient was have a giant promise. That's the first thing, because that's the basis. What are you giving us? That's the first thing. Are you helping us get wealthier? Are you helping us, for instance, you remember I told you that when you are giving a giant promise, you are not selling. Most times, the thing you are selling is not the thing you are selling. Hope we know this thing. We've dealt with this thing when we're talking about solution statement and authority statement. Most of the time, what you are selling is not what you are really selling. The person that sold children's toy to me, what he sold to me, what he told me he was selling was not children's toy, is children's smartness, that my children will now be able to think strategically because of this toy. That was what he was selling to me. That was what he used to get my attention. If he just said, this tie is very durable, it does not break, I would not have bought it. But he told me that, or rather they wrote that this will get your children to be able to think strategically. Who does not want their child to think strategically? Is that not what we are paying big money for management consulting? So that we can think strategically in our businesses. Now they are telling you that your 6-year-old will be able to think strategically because of this toy. You will buy it, man. You guys get it. What you are selling most of the time is not what you are selling. Now, your giant promise should address not the thing you think you are selling, but the real thing you are actually selling. I believe that made sense. Okay. Now, after you've given your giant promise, you've added free stuff and you have used the word free. If you write it in a way and there's no free in the sentence, you've not written it yet. You must write free. It's important. And if you're giving different things, don't say get free this and this and this. And no. Free this, free this, free this. List all the free items with free in front of them or behind them. Let them see free, free, free. Let it be so clear and written boldly. You get a free this, you also get a free this, and you get a free this. It's psychology and it works. Lastly, give them a guarantee. What this guarantee does, okay, let me tell you what guarantee is first. A guarantee is something that puts to rest the questions of the buyer. It's more like you have nothing to lose. That's what you're trying to say. But you are saying it in a smart way that they will not figure out that that's what you are trying to say. For instance, I think I have some examples there. Double your sales within 3 months when you manage your digital presence or you get a full refund. So guarantees are usually either replacement or refund or something that lets them know that, okay, if I don't like it, I can return it. Kind of. It's not always refund or replacement, and I'll give examples eventually so that you actually get the idea. But ultimately, it is something that answers the question, is it a good investment? That is the question you are trying to answer. Is this a good investment? Will I be happy when I pay this money? That's the question you're answering. So you are trying to let them know that, okay, let's even say that after you pay, you did not like what you get. You are not really losing anything. because it's either I will change it for you almost immediately, or I will pay you your money back, or I will fix whatever was wrong with. I build a house for you and you have entered the house and something spoils. I can't change the house for you, really. I just fix it. So a guarantee for somebody who is into real estate can say, for the next 5 years, I will fix any issue in your house. Terms and conditions apply, of course. But you get the idea. You let them know that, see, guarantee day. Guarantee doesn't mean that things may not spoil, but it means that, let's even say that things spoil. First, let me give you another example. For someone who is in, I actually used this one time. We were offering social media management service, social media, that was many years ago. We used to package, we had a package. The package would give you website, would give you social media management for 3 months. It will give you a few other things like that. Then, so the main idea was, the promise for that was, in 3 months, you will have more customers than you've had in the past 6 months, something like that. That was the promise. Because when somebody tells you, when you are selling social media management, or you are selling website, or basically anything to publicize somebody digitally, is not followers here people are looking for. In case you are in social media management business and you think that people are paying you to get followers, or people are paying you to get, is not it though. What they are looking for is money, people to pay, or customers. That's what they want. A customer is someone who has paid, right? If you have not paid, you're just a lead. You're not a customer yet. So people are actually paying you for customers. So if you are creating a promise, your promise should address the customer problem, or the revenue problem, or the sales problem. That is why they are asking you to build us a website, or to manage our social media, or to be our graphics designer. All that. It's not because they like designs. That's why you're a graphic designer. Because they want publicity. Publicity brings customers. So customer is where your giant promise must land on. Okay. Now, I was saying that what we did then was, we will build you a website. Then on the website, what we now said is free social media management for 3 months. Now, apparently, the cost of our website was, we had done the maths. It's going to cover for we managing your social media for 3 months. We also added free branding, I think. Yes, if you don't have a logo, we could do a logo for you. Free letterhead, free this. It was a long list of free things. And then we now said the amount is so amount. Now struck that one and put another amount. Before the end of the session, I will look for that flyer. I should have looked for it before now. I know it's close by because I've used it in previous cohorts, so I've not been able to lay my hands on it yet. So we did that. That was the time I started employing people as a business. Before that time, I was freelancer. This is many years ago, of course, but it was at that point that I now started having more customers, more demand than I could supply as a business. I remember that I got 2 or 3 graphic designers. I got social media managers, like 3 or 4. Each of them were handling like 2 or 3 accounts. At that point, we were doing well. We were in business because okay, the guarantee of that offer was this. If you do not have, the promise was that you will have 2 times no, it's not 2 times the customer. I can't recall exactly, but the guarantee was, if you do not fulfill this number of customers we say we will give you, we will pay you all your money back. Of course, we had counted the cost and had realized, is this something we can fulfill? That we had to count the cost. Is this something we can fulfill? Can we actually deliver? Do we have the kind of people who can actually deliver this level of results? This already tells the person who's reading this offer that this person is not just planning to just be posting. This person is planning to understand my business, know who buys from me, and target them properly on social media. That is telling the person you are talking to something that you are not really saying. I'm actually interested in you doing well. That's what it means. And that if I don't fulfill my promise, I will not go with your money. There's nothing else a customer wants to hear as much as this thing I just said. They want to know that you have their best interest at heart. A guarantee is what does that. A guarantee can be, you are buying a car. You are not sure if this car is, they tell you direct Belgium. But you know that some direct Belgium have been sunk inside water before. They just came into Nigeria. And by the time you start driving it, all the water in the engine will now start showing after 1 or 2 months of driving. To confirm to them that you know your car is not that type, tell them that for the next 3 months, if anything happens to your car, we'll fix it. That's a guarantee. That just settles the questions in their hearts. Of course, you too must be sure that your cars are the type that are the real ones. You will not the type that will spoil, that have actually been sunk inside water. Cars that have entered water, they usually come very cheap. They import them very cheap because they come with issues a lot. If you are into the car business, you know. So, 3 ingredients that you need to have in your offer. I can guarantee you guys that if you are able to get this thing done, if you're able to craft your offer with these 3 things, you'll be shocked how people will be jumping at you to patronize you. Now, I want to show you something. Let me show you something. When we started the Nebula, we had a target audience that we're after. Let's see. So I want to get one of the documents that we used to use. Aha. That's great. Good, found it. So let me share. Great. Let me just show you that this thing I'm showing you, maybe today. I've been doing it for quite some time, and it has worked. This is what present something else. When we started the Nebula, so the Nebula is the consulting firm, and the Nebula Launchpad is the part that helps people with skill to get the most value out of what they already know, out of their skill. Now, I want to share with you the proposal we were sending out to clients as at when we started the company. This was our more like pitch to clients when we want to get business customers to do work with us. This is like B2B. We had another one that was to personal people. People are not businesses, but this was the one to businesses. Let me be sure that you're seeing the right thing. Okay, good. Yes, you're seeing the right thing. So, introducing the Nebula, where ideas and talent shine brightest. Those are the nice things we used to see. The world's first 100% virtual workspace. Okay. Let me see. Can this arrow do the job? Okay, you have to keep scrolling. Okay. So, why the name? Okay, this is the name. Now, I'm showing you this so that you see how these 3 elements actually play inside this document. The problem, have you suffered any of these? Delayed projects, talent gaps, high costs, quality risks. If you read the things down, you get the idea. We were building software for people. Now, all this has been solved in the most efficient ways. This is how we solved it. 1, rapid project delivery. If others would deliver in 3 months, we would deliver in 1. The Nebula has cracked rapid and efficient project execution. It is our first giant promise. Do you guys see what a giant promise looks like? If others will do it in 3 months, we will do it in 1 month. Anything that anybody will build for you in 3 months, we'll build it in 1 month. If they build it in 6 months, we'll build it in 2 months. That's the first one. Cost efficient. You spend up to 40% less on project execution, giving you more funds to put into sales and marketing. Second giant promise, that we will do it 40% less, so that you can channel money into sales and marketing. This for if you are a startup, this will blow your mind. Next promise. We have a vetting system that not only checks technical skills, but also the interpersonal and collaboration abilities of our talents. You can be sure of an all-rounded talent. We were addressing the question of all these developers that don't know how to relate to people. All they know is code. That was what we are addressing here. Our own developers, our own talent, they have skill, technical skill, and they know how to relate with people. Those are the things we check. Let me see, is there another one? Project quality assurance. Okay. Robust system, technical leads and QA testers ensure that every project meets industry standards and your specific requirements. So these were the things we were promising. Then read this one. We trust our execution process so much that you get 100% refund if we don't deliver on our word. What does this sound like to you? Based on our ingredients, what is this? I need someone to respond. Based on our 3 ingredients for creating an offer, what is this one?
Is a guarantee.
Awesome. This is a guarantee. I sent this to somebody and the person said, 100% refund. Yes. We decided we will stick it out. We stake it out, whatever the English is. We will get it done. That was our decision. There were people who this was what got them in. This sentence, this was what got them in. Like, oh, really? So all this big grammar that I have been speaking at the top here, if they don't see this big grammar happening in real life, they can actually request for their money. 100% will give them back. We were starting a new company. We knew that we cannot afford to play on the same level of people who have been in it for a very long time. Let's go ahead. Why are we confident? Okay, these are just things to, why are we confident? Okay, these are some of the things we've done. For those of you who were not here last week, yes, this is addressing the status issue. We were new in the business, or we had actually pivoted into a new name. We were operating under an old name before, and we wanted to rebrand. We didn't want anything to affect. So we had to prove that we can actually do these things. So we now started putting out projects we have done: Event Spot, Triple Pay, Tech AI. These are things we had built, early founders, so that in case you were thinking whether we can do it or not, oh yeah, see it here with links. Go to the link. This is PDF, it's not a picture. So you can actually you could actually click this link at that time to go to these things. So, and these were things we built. We're not thinking whether we built it or not. So, and many more. We had others. Some of these things were built under the old name, but same management, same us. Built under the old name, but it was us. Now we had even gotten better than all this. So there's one thing still missing in this whole proposal. I've shown you the promise. I've shown you the guarantee. Let's look for the free items. Where did we put it? Execute your tech project with us today. You get project delivered on time with precision, free update for 5 months after delivery, 100% money back if we don't deliver on our word. So this is the guarantee. This is the free 5 months after delivery, free updates. We didn't say major or minor. Anything you want to change for the next 5 months, we change it for you. In or out of scope. You could hold us to this. If we go to court and we say, for instance, if we, in 3 months, we now say, we can't do this because it was not in the initial document. You said, but you said update now. You didn't say update within scope. We knew what we were saying. The goal is to get them to pay. And quite frankly, this was something we could easily deliver on. Some of us here at that time worked on projects at the Nebula. I can count people here. David, you worked on projects at the Nebula when we were still using that model at that time. And Obong, yeah, you also worked on some things at the Nebula. Let me see. Of course, Nankel is still at the Nebula, so you are still here. Yes. So this, I am showing you this to let you know that this has worked. Where we were as at the time we did this and where we are now, I can tell you that a lot has changed. Right now, we don't even need documents like this because people know us more. We have people referring us without us saying anything because we've done stuff for people and they are referring us. So right now, we don't even care about this anymore. Plus, our work model has actually evolved over time. With artificial intelligence now, we don't have that talent kind of thing anymore. But anyways, the goal of me showing you this was to let you know that 3 things must be in your offer. If you want them to not be able to say no, you must have a giant promise. Whether it's a product or a service or whatever it is that you offer, have a giant promise. Let that promise be embedded in the core frustration of your target. Don't sell what you are selling. Sell what you know that they actually need. The thing underneath the thing you are selling. And I think it was last class or the class before this, I was telling you guys that if you are wondering, okay, I am selling clothes. How do I know the real thing that I am selling? Because the person selling clothes is actually not selling clothes. In case you did not know. If you sell dress, apparels, what you are selling is not dress. What you're actually selling is bragging rights. For some, it's bragging rights. So that when they enter the party, they feel like they are like everybody's looking at them. That's what you are really, really selling. Especially if you sew things that people wear for weddings, high-ended, native, and for women particularly. When you are creating your giant promise, your promise is not in this clothes will not tear, the zip will not lose. That's not what you are selling. They don't care. What they want is, will people stare at me? Will I look like the only person who has this kind of thing, this kind of dress when I enter the building? That is where your giant promise should lie. But of course, depends on what you're selling. 2 people can be selling the same thing, but their promise is entirely different because the target is different. If you're selling to poor people, sell that it will not tear, because for them, that's what is important. If you're selling to somebody who is paying 10 times the price, the material value of that thing, you can't be talking about whether it will tear or not. This person obviously has conquered price. This person is concerned about his status in the society. That is where your giant promise should sit down. Somebody is writing something. Yes, you also send latest trends. Yes. You are telling them that if I sew for you, you will be the one ahead of the trend every single time. So when they come, they just tell you. Sometimes I've been at a tailor's place and people come in and what they don't ask, they don't say, sew this for me. Sew me the latest. I have this wedding I am going to. Sew me what is trending or what has not yet even trended. That is what matters to some people, and they will pay anything for that. Forget the cost of the material and the cost of the stitch and the cost of your staff and labor. It doesn't matter because you are selling to the wealthy. When you're selling to the wealthy, just know that you are playing on a different game entirely. When you're selling to the people who are actually going to price your stuff, your target is different. So you know how to. But I'm sure you guys get what I am trying to say. Okay, let me get back to my slides, which I think I haven't exhausted. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you create irresistible offers. 3 things. Where's my slide? Okay. Three things. First, a giant promise. You must figure out what you promise.
Victor, we're still on your Nebula PDF.
Yeah, it should change any moment from now. Has it?
Not for me.
No, it hasn't.
Change. Okay, it's not changed. I think I have to stop presenting entirely. The present button is even grayed out. Like I can't even click it anymore. There's a traffic jam somewhere. Okay. Just give me a moment to resolve this so that I can share what I want to share. Great. Please let me know when you can now see my slide. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. So now that you know how to create an offer, do I even need to show you this offer? So let me just show you this. This is just something I created. But as you create your offer, you are free to be creative about it. There is no hard and fast rule. Just make sure that these three things are inside. And even when you are talking, let's even say you own a shop. As customers walk in, just have it in your head that as you are talking, you are giving them these three things. These three things are the things you want to tell them. So first, just tell them this thing you want to buy. This is take the giant offer. In fact, I will even add this for you. As I will give you this one for free. You have already told them, okay, there's a free item. And in fact, even if this one no work, no worry, go change them. I think the Igbo people know how to do this thing very well. Igbo businessmen, they use giant offers unconsciously without even knowing. And if you can find a way of translating this into corporate space or negotiations with your boss or basically anything you do, these three things, put it inside. Even if it was salary you went to negotiate, you went there to tell your boss that you need a bigger salary, find the way to infuse these three things. You will just realize that they will pay. And I'm telling you that this thing, it works. Shall we have 1 week to try this out? Now follow come. Abby, say now follow come. Yes, that's one of the, because they know that you want original. So first, their giant promise is this thing, it's follow come. It came with the thing like that. We didn't manufacture this one outside. Yeah, thank you, Helga. So this applies to many areas of life, really. It's not just when you are selling in business terms, but when you're trying to get something from somebody, tell them what you want, what you are giving them. After you have addressed the real thing that matters to them in your promise, find one extra small something to add on it, and then give them a small guarantee. It always works. Okay. Moving on. So this is like a great offer. Double your customers with our solution within 3 months. This would be like a platform that helps you do content management and stuff like that. And then if it doesn't, you get a full refund. And then all software updates are free for 6 months. So any new feature we add to our product, you get it for the next 6 months or for the next 1 year or for the next forever. Doesn't matter. Then of course, put your price, put your, all that is part of the, of course, your price has to be there. What exactly they're getting needs to be there. Everything, your phone number, now this is assuming you're trying to create a flyer or something, or a sales page. You can add things like testimonials, like you saw we did in our PDF document. You can add all those things, but make sure that these three things are inside whatever you want to be saying. Then, okay, initially I wanted us to try some examples. Let's even try some examples. Let's say you have someone who runs a barbing salon. Let's try and create an offer, a good offer for this person. Who wants to try? Who wants to try? Someone who runs a barbing salon. Let's even say home service. This person is the home service guy, and he wants to convince you, or you are a home service barbing salon. Is that how they call them? And you want to give an offer of your service. Tell me what you would say that includes these 3 ingredients in it. I'm waiting. I'll call somebody's name now.
Okay, so you can do something like
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you can do something like can you hear me?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so we can do something like you can, for a subscription to our home service package, right? You get you get premium haircuts, right? For half the price it will cost you if you stood up and walked to the shop yourself. And it also covers for free haircuts for family members as well, because in case you have children. And then okay, I'm struggling with the guarantee, but
okay.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah.
So far, subscription package, half the cost of if you stood up and walked to a barbing salon, and then free for your children as well.
Okay. Yeah, that could work. Free for one extra person, a child, that kind of thing. So you always know that if he comes, he gets, and he comes with children, you only pay for 2, that kind of thing. Yeah, that is a good offer. A guarantee can be okay if you don't like the haircuts. Okay.
Well, we cannot back the hair, Sha. So 1 month free if you don't like the haircut. But I mean, if you don't like the haircut, thinking about it from the perspective of somebody who receives haircuts, I don't like the haircut once. That's the last time we see. But yeah, so the guarantee, instead of the guarantee,
this is a nice.
Okay, I want to say, instead of the guarantee being something from the negative perspective, we can give a guarantee. We always like the haircut.
Yes. I was going to say that too, that if you now try saying like, okay, if you don't like the haircut, it means you're already insinuating that sometimes you may not like the haircut, which is not nice to say. Yes. So we could find a guarantee for this kind of person. So a guarantee could come from the aspect of, this person normally is somebody who wants you to come to his house. Now you are trying to get the person to come to your shop, which means that what matters to this person is delay. Like delay. That is why he usually wants you to come to his house and do it in his house so that he can maybe come down from wherever he is, get the haircut and go back to whatever he was doing. So the guarantee can be around delay. So you get your haircut immediately you come. Or if we delay you for more than 15 minutes or 30 minutes, you pay only half the price, something like that. Because you know what matters to this person. Yeah. So for the giant promise, it can be something around delay also, because you know that delay matters to this person. You can say that get your haircut not more than 15 minutes from when you get into the store, that kind of thing. So you've already helped them know that we know that you don't want to waste time. So our promise to you is that we will get your own done 10 minutes max. 10 minutes max. As soon as you enter, 10 minutes, you must get your haircut done. Or if you don't fulfill that, you just pay half the price. And I would like to go to that kind of salon.
Okay.
Because go ahead, Ruben.
Okay, I want to start by apologizing. I had to come out to Shaoma and Grace here at British to join the class. We have been having light issues. All my devices have been down. So for the barbing, I think for me, I feel it's best to upgrade our systems from the normal. You know, sometimes people have issues with a style of hair that will fit them. So if one can have a system that can actually, should I use the word diagnose your head shape and give you a soft picture image of how you are going to look like after you are being shaved, and that also can be a guarantee. So for me, that's one aspect I'm thinking about, because some rich folks having free stuff does not actually prick them. That's one thing that I feel. Having free stuff does not actually prick their interest on some certain things. Like shaving may not be something that will prick, we actually catch their attention, since they have the money to pay for it. Sometimes they may even suspect you that, okay, why will you be giving my child a free haircut instead of paying for it? So I think for me, one major thing that I've been seeing from barbing salons is that the place of you knowing your haircut, your head shape, and the kind of hairstyle that will actually suit you. So if there's a system like that for them to see what they are going to look like after they are being shaved, I think it will be an add to your guarantee. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So more like free face analysis or free head analysis, kind of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yes. And if you know that that is what matters to the kind of people who your target is, just weave that into the giant promise. If you want to add that as a free item, weave it into it. Whatever, if you want to add it to the guarantee, just weave that thing that matters to them into your offer. Because if you don't address the thing that matters to them, your offer will not appeal to them. So like you said, the initial offer we gave was for somebody who time was his real issue. He wants to get there and get in and out quickly. For somebody who is not, he wants to be sure that the style you want to do will actually work. And you know, the reason why you're giving offers is because you want to get new customers, really. So these are people who they are not sure that you understand their face to know what style works for them. So if you have that kind of thing, you will get, your offer will make sense and appeal to them. Yes. Do we do one more? How much time do we have left? We don't want to cross 9 o'clock. So I think we get the idea. Does anybody have a question? Maybe you have not figured out how this applies to your kind of business. You want to ask a question and you would like us to work with you and see possible kind of offers, possible kinds of things that can go into your offer. This is a good time to speak of it. Okay, so everybody gets it. I am very happy to know that. Okay, now, what's the mission for the week? 2 things. Create a killer offer for your solution, your skill. Give. If you are in this program, it means you have a skill. We are not looking for people who don't have skill. By the way, if you are in this session right now and you want to join the Launchpad, just go to launchpad.thenebula.tech, or there's a phone number in the chat, or just drop your phone number. Someone will reach out to you. I think that's a better way to do it. Just drop your phone number. Someone will reach out to you and walk you through the process of joining the Launchpad. The next cohort starts on the 29th, and to join is very, very easy. Right now, with 5,000, it's a program that's got 50,000 naira, but what is important to us really is knowing that you are very serious about it, about upgrading yourself, working towards the wealth that your skill can actually give you. So we're not asking you to pay 50,000 naira, just pay 5,000 naira. Then that will let us know that this is important to you. The rest, you will still pay it too, but there's no pressure. You can pay it anytime. And that's money back guarantee. I mean, there's no pressure. Once you pay 5,000 naira, that tells us that you will pay attention to the program. We don't want people that will come and be stressing us. We know that this thing works, but we don't want stress. So that 5,000 will help us know, okay, it's not a big money, but at least to let us know that you are serious. Then the remaining balance, you can pay it over time at your own convenience. If you would like, just go to the website. The website will bill you the 5,000 automatically, and to sign you in straight, and you can go on. If that is complex, just drop your phone number. Somebody will reach out to you and help you through the process. Okay, you guys, some of the things that you will get is that you would have a journal on the platform where you can write out your thoughts. At the end of the program, you can download it and store anywhere you want to store it. During the program, you will have access to a community of people who are also building stuff like you. You will have your own times to gist with them, ask them how their week is going, how their businesses are doing. Those are things that come with the program. And at the end of the program, you will be added to a particular community where the goal is to keep money circulating within the ecosystem. So let me give you a perfect example of what happens within the ecosystem. You run a business. Let me use popcorn. You sell popcorn. You produce and sell popcorn. But you want to scale. There's some machinery you need to buy. This machinery costs 1 million naira, which you don't have. Now, there is someone else who runs a supermarket in this same ecosystem. This person who has a supermarket can say, okay, I'm going to pay you in advance 1 million naira. 1 million naira is more money for somebody who runs a supermarket, right? He will pay you in advance 1 million naira, and you will keep supplying him popcorn till the 1 million naira is fulfilled. Everybody wins. For him, price cannot change because he has finished paying. So even if cost of production increases, his number of popcorns he's going to get must not change. For you, you now have money to scale your business. Everybody wins. Nobody's helping anybody per se. Everybody is looking for what works and what will help them do better in their own businesses. So that's the kind of community you will now get into after the 10 weeks. So if you think this is something you want to join, please head on, either drop your phone number or head on to launchpad.nebula.tech. Okay. So for those of us in the Launchpad, next week, you know what is going to happen. I have to see your offer within the week. You must drop it. You can submit it on the platform, or you can drop it on the WhatsApp group. Anyone, I will find it and I will review it, and then we can see how we can fine tune your offer. If you are at a point where you have not even figured out what your solution is, you need to reach out to me fast. If you are still wondering, okay, which one do I even want to focus on? It means that we have left you behind. You need to reach out to me fast. Let's talk so that we can now look at all the options. Remember when we did skill audit, we considered all the different possible skills we have, and we went through the skill audit or answered all the questions, and we were able to pick which ones mattered based on all the other things or the other context around our lives. So if you've not been able to pick, sometimes you have the same 3 skills scoring the same number, so it may be confusing. Then we need to talk. I have extra questions I can ask you that will help you arrive at what you should be doing. And for some of us, what we are doing is not what we should be doing. Because those things are not relevant anymore in 2026 and the coming years. If you are in that place, we need to talk. Okay, guys, it was really, really great hanging out with you guys today. It was really great hearing your stories, hearing how your week went. Really, really amazing. Thank you, Ruben, David, Helga, Falad, Isaac, Nankiel. Did I see Paul Yusuf? Interesting. Good to have you, Uncle Paul, as we call you. Good to have you guys. Jennifer, good to have you. Some people have already dropped off the call. Livingstone was here at some point. So thank you guys and have a wonderful night. See you in the WhatsApp group. And for those who are joining, I will see you and I will check your applications when I see it. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night too. Bye.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye-bye.